Be a part of history and subscribe to my 2 YouTube channels and join the 100,000 pharaohs that exist. And of course, follow me on Twitch as I create a radio station from the ground up. They ain't never seen a young black reporter coming like this. All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, how's everybody doing? So childhood star Raven Symone, we all know Raven Symone very well from The Cosby Show. She was the princess of The Cosby Show. We seen her grow up and create her own platform with That's So Raven, which did huge numbers for Disney. She became a huge, phenomenal superstar. And then Raven kind of sold out on the black community. Now, here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to judge someone's progression because I have not walked in their shoes. I don't know what they've dealt with in their life. So I'm not going to sit here and judge Raven Symone. I'll just keep it factual in everything that I say. Raven Symone posted this picture, right? Jay-Z had one of those little Rock Nation brunches. And in the picture was a group of black men. And Raven Symone, she reposted a caption that was already with the picture. It was one of the lines that said, a group of so-called successful black men, minus Khaled, who became rich and famous from perpetuating the worst black stereotypes to the ears and eyes of the whole planet, like drug dealing, pimping, murdering our black men, and disrespecting black women. I know making observations is being a hater. Cheers. Now, here's what I won't do. I won't lie to you guys. Here's the truth. There is truth in this post that Raven Symone did repost on her Instagram account. Let's make it clear. Like, let's not try to sugarcoat stuff. Yes, there are a lot of people in this picture. Do I need to get specific with names? A lot of people in this picture have talked about, killing, selling drugs, doing all types of stuff, disrespecting our black queens, women in general. Let's make it clear. That part of it is real. There is no ifs, ands, buts about it. Raven Symone is not lying in that. And that's really where you stand morally, what you believe about that. If you believe, like, if you're a type of person who believe you can grow, you can mature, the person that you was when you were 20 is not the person that you are at 35, 40, which a lot of these guys are around that age group, a little older than that, some of these guys as well. If you believe that you can grow, then you like a picture like this because it shows black progression. But if you one of the people who are like, yo, these dudes done got away with a lot of stuff, man. These dudes, their truth has made them millions of dollars, and they've hurt a lot of young black men, a lot of young black women, a lot of people in general because of the music that they've put together. I'm somewhere in between that, right? I can't tell y'all where I, 100% side on it. Some records I don't believe had to happen. A lot of it, I think these brothers were just telling their real truth, getting out of bad scenarios in the hood, and this is what the truth was. This system put a lot of these brothers in this picture. They grew up through the hood, and they had to find a way to get out of it, and they told their stories about what they did to people, the bad things and the good things that they've done with people. And yes, if some of these guys are still making music like that as if they're doing it now, I think that's very disrespectful, for sure, because a lot of these guys are a lot of $1 million up, and I'm not going to just 100% take up for these guys. But for Raven Symone to act like her ish doesn't stink too, like she hasn't been a part of bad things put out in the atmosphere. Look, man, say what you want about That's So Raven. It's not reality, right? And I'm not trying to, That's So Raven is a show, right, where it tells you, these young women out here, that you can see into the future, right? That every time something happens, you're going to know. It's almost like this godly like image she was trying to portray, right? And to each his own. It was one of those things where you're trying to tell women that you're going to be able to see in the future, right? That's not bad enough for you? What about The Cosby Show, right? And this is Raven's, this is how she got her start. The Cosby Show has to be one of the biggest lies Black America has ever told, because it painted this false sense of reality of what the black family is, right? The father's a doctor. He comes home to the wife who's very successful. Hey, wife, I love you, wife. Kids do this. Kids do that. You're going to do as I say, or you're out my house. Love each other. You know what I mean? It's this full house type image of the black family. And the irony is the guy who wrote that show, who produced that show, was the furthest thing from what I would want to teach my son to be as a man. He is the worst image. I'm talking about Bill Cosby, who reportedly has quaalude to sleep women and taken advantage of them sexually in exchange for roles, opportunities in films, and opportunities on television shows that he's produced or been a part of. Over 100 women have come out with accusations that Bill Cosby inappropriately had conversations and or touched them inappropriately or did something with them inappropriately in his lifetime when he was on top. And Raven Symone, for good or for bad, you were a part of that platform. So I just want Raven Symone to look at it from all sides of this thing. Yes, some of these black men in this picture have done bad things to people. They've talked about it. But you think it's almost like she's trying to paint, and Raven Symone, somebody who came out and said, you know, she doesn't want her a name to be LaQuisha or whatever, a black name or something like that. And it's almost as if though she's trying to side with white is right and black is wrong. And that's very disrespectful to my race. You know, you're black, Raven Symone. You know what we've had to come through. You know, I hate people who know. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't understand what I understand, but I hate people who know what we're dealing with black people, the oppression that we're dealing with trying to make it out because we didn't get a 500-year, 1,000-year, 10,000-year head start. You know what we dealing with. You know how we trying to teach our people to love each other. You know what we dealing with oppression, mentally trying to convince our black brothers to treat each other the right way. And you know what we dealing with, Raven Symone. And I hate when people try to put white as right and black is wrong. And time again, I've seen Raven Symone try to stereotype black as being wrong, the culture of black as being 100% wrong, and the culture of white being 100% right. I don't hear Raven Symone making such strong statements about a group of actors. A lot of these actors in the Hollywood and entertainment business, a la Harvey Weinstein. So what? What he's doing right now is not as bad as what a lot of these brothers did 20 years ago. He's pulling his penis out now. He's sexually inappropriate now. And a lot of these guys have changed their lives to what we believe to be pretty decent human beings. Raven Symone, your instincts too. You're not perfect yourself. Your career ain't perfect either. And I hate when people like her try to play this perfect image of, I'm so glad I understand that being black and accepting my black culture is stupid, and I'm so glad the whites accept me. Okay. All I'm saying is, unless Raven Symone does it privately, I don't see her doing as much positive stuff as some of the black men in this picture. I didn't want to get into names, but let's do it. I see T.I. in this picture. Okay. I've seen T.I. firsthand get out and stand for movements. Whether you think the movement is right or wrong, right? I've seen T.I. take time out of his day to stand with marches and with movements and be a part of things, and where he deemed African Americans were treated unfairly. Let's take another guy from this picture. Diddy has employed thousands of black people, right? And if you don't like what Diddy's doing, okay. If you don't like Diddy the person, Diddy ain't perfect. I've heard stories about Diddy, right? And if you don't like Diddy the person, that's cool. That's fine. You don't gotta like him the person, but respect what he represents. He's a black businessman, and he's employed thousands of black people. In some form or fashion, he's employed thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people. Okay, we gotta go higher on the totem pole. Big Sean, musically, has did a lot of great things. Big Sean, you ever listen to his I Decided album? Nothing but positive energy. How can I get my mama out the hood? I really appreciate Big Sean, the musician. I don't know what the heck you talking about. Do I need to get to Jay-Z? I will get to Jay-Z. So I could take this from so many different levels with Jay-Z about how he has admitted his mistakes of cheating, which a lot of black men don't do. That's just recently. Do I want to talk about some of the documentaries he's done? A lot of Khalif Browder joint. He's working on the Trayvon Martin documentary as we speak right now. That's telling these stories about how black or brown people have been unjustly treated by the hands of the police and or people acting as if they're the police. Do I need to go about how many people he's employed? Do I need to go about talking about the label that he's been a part of, how he's changed the narrative with the hip-hop artists, how he's broke down doors that a lot of artists would never have seen in their lifetime, artists that you might listen to, Raven Symone? Do I really need to go that in far depth with Jay-Z? I don't think I need to go any further than that. Raven, here's my thing. If you're doing more for black people or people, whoever you care about, than these guys are, some of the people that you decided to call out in your post, I'll commend you on it. I'll step back and I'll shut up. But I find it hard to believe that you're trying to do more for people than what some of these brothers who you decided to criticize with your platform are doing. And that upsets me. And I'm so sick of black people looking down on other black people when they find ways to get money, when they find means to figure it out. As long as it's legal, which these brothers are legally making money at this point in life, I'm for it, because we need generational wealth. And how are we going to progress as people when we got people like Raven Symone, one of our own, looking down on some of our excellence right now? I think it's distasteful. I think unless Raven Symone has better ways for a lot of our people to get out of the hood, and let's call a spade a spade. If not for hip hop, a lot of these people wouldn't be able to make it to these positions. Who's to say this guy that works his whole life, he worked at a warehouse, he's worked at a, you know what I mean, he's probably never going to see $100,000. And I'm not trying to equate money to happiness. I'm not trying to equate money to success. I'm just saying, like, yo, hip hop has helped a lot of these young black brothers who are now older black brothers make ways. And for you to criticize everything as if the whole culture is bad, incredibly inconsiderate, incredibly irresponsible with your platform. And that's why I'm calling you out, Raven Symone. I go by the name of Mr. TALIAFERRO. Thank you for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. I don't take my platform for granted. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate being a young black brother in this position to talk to my people. A young black brother. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now you're turning up on MrTaliaferro.com, shawty.